Germany to confront Muslim Jew hatred in historic anti-Semitism resolution. In a historic shift, Germany's Bundestag passed a groundbreaking resolution that, for the first time, explicitly acknowledges Muslim anti Semitism as a significant driver of anti Jewish hatred in the country. The draft resolution, titled, quote, Never Again Is Now, Protect, Preserve, and Strengthen Jewish Life in Germany, directly addresses what it calls, quote, the alarming extent of anti Semitism based on immigration from the countries of North Africa and the Near and Middle East, where anti Semitism and hostility towards Israel are widespread, end quote. This unprecedented move, supported by both the left wing coalition government and the right wing opposition, calls for the ending of public funding for entities engaging in anti Semitism or the boycotting and divestment, the BDS of Israel, while also addressing legal loopholes in criminal, residence, asylum, and citizenship laws. While Jewish leaders like Gady Gronich, I don't know how to pronounce it, welcomed the resolution, it has sparked a debate with German jurist Kai Ambos, criticizing the singling out of Islamic anti Semitism, prompting Arab Israeli author Ahmad Mansour to counter that, quote, we should look at every form of anti Semitism and warn against it, both from our own and that of immigrants. I thought Armin, let's just hear your thoughts right off the bat.
Guys, isn't that impressive? You see how people try to act like liberal countries are always acting woke. I mean, we criticize Germany often a lot for some of their insane takes, but look, like they are like, we have Germany officially has come and announced, a liberal country that a lot of people have dismissed as too far gone to the wokey side. They have come and officially have announced that we have anti-Semitism, and then we have is super anti-Semitism, Islamic anti-Semitism, which it requires its own entire category. And this is not just German media. This is the German government. This is like, I did not
From
expect
across
them.
the political spectrum,
That is
coming together
fucking
to acknowledge a
impressive.
politically inconvenient reality and acknowledge actually in text that immigration has a role to play in it. That's wild.
Again, guys, if Germany tomorrow does something stupid, I'm not saying that this shows that Germany is like a-okay everything that they do. This is fucking great. This shows that you mofos in the live chat, some of you who try to dismiss, like, oh, Europe is falling. This is what you get when you fight. This is what you get, these small victories. Oh, UK has fallen, it will never be saved. Germany has fallen, Europe has fallen. This is the result of activism, of bringing these things to people's attention. You live in democracies. Don't give up on your countries. There are ways for you to fucking fix this. Don't give up on Western liberal countries. Even if we have a setback, we could come back again if you guys don't give up and fight politically. This is what you get. This is your reward for not giving up and actually bringing attention to things that matters. This is great. This is fantastic.
Yeah, one of the
I hope we
things
get
that's
more of this.
important about this measure is that people are saying that it's going to help increase the integrity of data collection on anti-Semitic incidents that happen in Germany, because right now they fall into certain categories like far right, foreign ideology, religious ideology, left wing, and other. And there's no category to actually capture a specific type of anti-Semitism, which is Islamically influenced anti-Semitism. That's a specific type. It has its own specific motivations and its own historical basis that is separate from the rest. It needs to be documented and tracked accordingly. I believe that, so this is a really important step because not only does it specifically call out Islamic anti-Semitism, which on its own is quite a big step. But it's also talking about the role of immigration in this problem, which I think is very interesting. So, but some critics are saying, okay, like you're putting this in writing, you're putting this in words, you're acknowledging some of the origins and the differences, but what is the action behind it? there's kind of limited information about this bill in English. So there might be more information in German about like any action that could arise from this. I'm not entirely certain about like okay, so you have this in writing now, so what's the action that can be done afterwards? That's not entirely clear to me yet. I think the data reporting is one element of it. Um and I think just having this conversation get started is very very important. Um the part of the bill also says the German government should continue to quote actively support the existence and legitimate security interests of the state of Israel. Israel has a right to defend itself against the attacks that violate international law and thus recognize the duty to protect its citizens from terror while upholding its obligations under international law. It also basically calls for like if there is an organization that's like a nonprofit organization or something or any organization that is receiving federal public funding and they do activities or promote like the BDS movement, they are no longer eligible for they cannot be supported with public funds. So that's also a really big news. The other thing is it talks about closing loopholes in criminal law and asylum law and citizenship law. Now, what those loopholes are, isn't entirely clear to me. D's saying the UK government must be horrified this. Ay, ay, ay.
Isn't it funny how we had the Brexit because the UK was afraid, like some people in the UK were like, oh my God, Europe is going woke. Let's divorce from that. And they got divorced. And now UK is coming to the census and a lot of it is going a little bit more right. And the UK has gone full on wokey with their government. Maybe like, I don't know, was Brexit a mistake, guys? The people who supported Brexit before, do you not see, like it's the UK that is now to the left of the rest of Europe? So that didn't turn out very well. But go on.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of actions follow out from this resolution. Um, and some leaders are saying that this is a first step by the government to acknowledge a problem so that the government doesn't seem too detached from reality. Um, which I think is very interesting. My impression is, and no one take offense to this, that the Germans tend to move slowly on some things because they have a culture of being incredibly, incredibly thorough, which means that it takes them a little bit longer to react to things sometimes. They really want to kind of pursue all lines of inquiry or, engineering or whatever to go pick the best option, which means if they're going to go all the way down each one, it's going to take longer to get to like a conclusion. Um, so they're very, very thorough, but that doesn't mean that sometimes they are a little bit slower on some things. That's my impression. But they are coming around, and we see Olaf Scholz talking about Islamism specifically, calling it Islamism, calling it out by its name. That was a big acknowledgement that he made not too long ago, a few months ago. Now we see this following. So it's going to be very interesting to watch how things evolve from this. And I think this is a big, something we should celebrate. As much as Armin and I are very critical of many different governments around the world, it is equally important for us to celebrate when politicians are doing things that we think are positive and will increase the security of more people. It's too easy for people to only just want to hit politicians with the stick. We also need to celebrate them and give them carrots when they do something positive. Because they're human too. They react to incentives just the same way that we all do. So I would like to take this moment to celebrate this action taken by these German officials and politicians and coalitions across the government. I think it's important.
So there has been an infighting in the current coalition of Germany. Is the other party called the FDP or whatever it's called? I don't know. But this coalition is like, it seems like it's going to fall apart, right? So currently within German politics. So what's going to happen to this law? given that it's agreed, it seems to be everybody agrees with it. I'm hoping that that means that it will still be in place, whatever happens to the government, because there seems to be like full on agreement on this. So that's not going to threaten this. Is it? Is it going to threaten this? So Germans in the, do we have Germans in the live chat? Can you tell us? But do you know? I'm hoping that the fact that everybody seems to be on board with this, the falling apart of the current government in Germany is not going to threaten this. It's going to survive regardless of who comes into power.
I have no idea. I'm not going to pretend to know anything about German civics.
Yeah, so
you're comfortable saying I don't know if I don't know.
Let me see. Who are the libertarians in your? Those are the people who basically got a divorce from the current main party. What was the name? Which one was it? Hold on. So we have the Greens, we have the SPD, the SDU, which is they are going to win. Oh yeah, the FDPs. So the FDPs were angry with the SPDs. Anyway, so let us know if you're German. Leave a comment once this video is over and let me know. But what do you think is going to happen to this bill, given that everything is chaotic right now? By the way, this Europe is. By the way, I know we just celebrated Europe, but things are fucked up right now. Like Germany is leaderless at the moment, and this is a very bad time to be leaderless because Trump is going to stop supporting Europe as much as before against Putin. So now Macron is not. Both France and Germany, which were their leaders used to be the historical leaders of Europe. And now they're both dealing with so much internal chaos that Europe is leaderless. So we'll see. We don't know what and it's a very bad timing for all of this for Europe to be leaders, but we'll see. Oh shit, we have to go. We have one.
Yeah.
So 2 super chats. I didn't notice this.
Asian Americans saying to me, y'all are all just Abrahamics.
Right. And read this one because we have only 10 seconds.
Oh my goodness. Muslim Adelaide is saying Torah is satanic and barbaric.
No, forget that one. That was funny, but we don't have time. Just read the super chat. We have
super chat from Great Men is saying it seems the German chancellor is the leader of the free world now. I beg to differ for the reasons that Armin just said.
Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.